Hello and welcome to Chanakya. Today we are going to talk about the landmark judgment delivered by the Supreme Court of India upholding the 103rd Amendment to the Constitution of India, which permits reservation up to 10% for the economically weaker section. Now, that's a landmark judgment that was delivered by a constitutional bench of five judges giving a majority decision of three in favor of the amendment and two against the amendment. Let's take a deeper look as to what the issue is and what the case is and what the conclusion is. Before we get any further into this, let's quickly refresh ourselves as to what is EWS. EWS can be simply defined as a reservation for the economically weaker section of the society who do not avail any other reservation under the SC/ST Act or SC/ST reservation or any other OBC reservation. So any individual who falls into the general category and who is economically backward can avail this reservation of 10% under the Economically Weaker Section Act. Now, what defines someone to be economically weaker? What are the criteria? As I said earlier, the first criteria is you should not have availed any other reservation other than the EWS. That is your first and foremost category, first and foremost criteria. Now, the second criteria is your gross family income, not the individual income, the gross family income should be less than 8 lakhs. The family should not own agricultural land of 5 acres and above. It should not hold a residential property of 1,000 square feet and above. It should not have residential plot of 100 square feet yards and above in certain municipalities. So these are the important criteria which defines whether you're economically backwards or not. Okay, so how do you well this? You have to provide your income and asset certificate in a certain format. The format is provided in the annexure of the EWS Act, which you can see on screen now. And it has to be signed by the appropriate authorities. The list of authorities who can approve this is also provided in the act, and I'm also showing it on screen for your reference. So you have to get this certificate signed by the appropriate authority and submit it to avail the reservation for EWS. Now that is a quick introduction as to what economically weaker section, what reservation for economically weaker section means and who will be the target beneficiaries. Now, coming to the writ petition filed in the Supreme Court. The writ petition is raising concerns about three main aspects. The first thing is whether economically reservations based on economic criteria is permissible within the Constitution of India, or whether giving reservation based on economic criteria will break the backbone, whether it will break the backbone of the Constitution of India. The second aspect is whether permitting the state to make special provisions in relation to the admission of private unaided institutions. Now, the third important question is whether the exclusion of SC/ST and OBCs from this reservation right. So these are the three main categories in which this writ petition was filed, and a constitutional bench of five judges made detailed observations into the case. Let's see the outcome of what each of them has recorded. Out of the three judges, Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Justice Bela M. Trivedi, and J.B. Paridwala have given their observations favoring the amendment. The Chief Justice of India, U. Lalit, and Justice S. Ravindra have recorded their observation against the amendment. Now, let's drill down further into the key aspects of what each of them has recorded on the three main issues that were raised in this case. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari has ruled that reservation based only on economic criteria does not violate the basic structure of the Constitution and the exclusion of classes which are already covered in Article 15 and 16 of the Constitution does not damage the basic structure of the Constitution. Justice Bela Trivedi has concurred with Justice Maheshwari. Justice Trivedi has also made an important observation that after 75 years of independence, it is time to revisit the system of reservation in the larger interest of the society. In short, all the three judges made a unanimous decision that giving reservations on the basis of economic criteria will not break the backbone of the Constitution of India. Justice Lalit and Bhatt have given their observations that giving reservation on the basis of economic criteria, ignoring the SC/ST and OBC population, is against the social justice that can be rendered to the people. Justice Lalit quoted that out of the people who are living within the below the poverty line in India, 38% are SCs, 48% are STs, and close to 13.5% are OBCs. Considering this point, he has registered that excluding them from the economically backward reservation is a grave injustice to those communities. Justice Butt also records that our constitution does not speak the language of exclusion in India. Justice Maheshwari also records that exclusion of SC/ST and OBC from getting reservations under EWS cannot be seen as a grave injustice because the reservation for the above categories have been covered as per Article 15 and 16 of the Constitution, and the 10% reservation that is provided to by the EWS is not taking away anything from the existing 50% reservation that is being rendered to these communities. So it cannot be seen as breaking the backbone of the Constitution. And that sums up the overview of the judgment provided. It is, in fact, a historic judgment, again, touching the roots of the Constitution of India and making sure that the constitutional amendments which is provided is within the boundaries and not breaking the basic structure of the Constitution of India. Let's take a quick look at some of the frequently asked questions around EWS. Is EWS only benefiting the Brahmins? No. It's benefiting everyone who fits into the general category. For example, in a state like Tamil Nadu, over 60 communities who are not Brahmins are getting benefited. The next question is this only for Hindus? No. In many states, Christians and Muslims who are in general category will be benefited by EWS if they fall into the category. Will the EWS system take away the existing reservation for SC/ST and OBC? No, it will not. EWS is only within the 50% general category and will not disturb the existing quota system. Now, if I don't get picked in my quota, can I try EWS? No. EWS is only for people who do not avail reservation under any other quota. Is it mandatory for all states in India to implement EWS? No, it is not mandatory. States have the right to decide if they want to implement EWS or not. We see that a few states like Tamil Nadu have been opposing this judgment on the basis of social justice and equality, but social justice and equality has been thoroughly bestowed for all sections of the society and all classes of people. Thank you, and stay tuned to Chanakya for further updates on national trends.